Welcome to Business to Motivation, the place where entrepreneurs, creators, and leaders come to recharge their drive and tighten up their mindset. Today, we're tackling a question that hits everyone sooner or later. How do you stay motivated in business when it's not working yet, when it's not fun, and when quitting starts to sound reasonable? Because let's be honest, motivation isn't just that burst of energy you feel after a great podcast or a strong Monday morning. Real motivation is what you lean on when sales are slow, when your posts get ignored, when a launch flops, when you're doing everything you can and the results still feel invisible. So in this episode, I want to break down what business motivation actually looks like, why momentum disappears for so many people, and what you can do to keep moving even in a tough season. Let's start with a big mindset shift. Motivation and discipline are not the same thing. A lot of people assume successful business owners are always fired up. They're not. They're human. Some days they're tired, stressed, distracted, or unsure like anyone else. The difference is that they don't require high motivation to take action. They rely on discipline. Here's a simple way to think about it. Motivation is the spark. Discipline is the engine. Motivation might get you to start a project, start a company, start that marketing plan. But discipline is what keeps you going when the excitement wears off. It's like going to the gym. At first, it's thrilling. A few weeks later, it's just another workout. The people who get results aren't always the most hyped up. They're the ones who keep showing up. The same is true in business. The winners are often not the smartest or the most talented. They're the ones who stayed in the game long enough to learn, adjust, and compound their effort. So if you feel stuck right now, remember this. You don't have to feel motivated every single day to make progress. You just have to keep taking the next step. So why do people lose momentum? Why does that early drive fade into frustration? Typically, it comes down to three things. First, unrealistic expectations. A lot of people walk into entrepreneurship expecting fast results. And I get it, because social media makes business look like a highlight reel. Someone launches on Tuesday, goes viral on Wednesday, and is somehow driving a luxury car by Friday. But real business is usually slower, messier, and a lot more repetitive. Most overnight success stories are really years of trial and error, uncomfortable learning, failed offers, awkward sales calls, and rebuilding confidence after setbacks. If your expectations are built on the highlight reel, normal progress will feel like failure, and that kills motivation fast. Second, fear of failure. People don't just fear failing. They fear failing where other people can see it. They worry about looking foolish, being judged, or having to explain why something didn't work. But failure isn't the opposite of success in business. It's part of success. Every entrepreneur you admire has a long list of mistakes behind the scenes. The difference is they treated those moments as feedback, not a final verdict. Third, lack of purpose. If your only reason for building a business is the money, you'll probably burn out. Money matters, of course, but money alone usually isn't strong enough to carry you through the hard days. Sustainable motivation comes from a deeper why. Freedom, impact, providing for your family, building something you're proud of, solving a real problem for real people. When your why is clear, you don't crumble as easily when the week goes sideways. Your purpose gives you stamina. It turns obstacles into something you can work through instead of something that stops you. Now let's get practical. If you want more motivation in business, you don't just wait for it. You build it. And the best way to build it is through habits that create momentum. I want to give you 5 that consistently work. Habit number 1, focus on small wins. Big goals are exciting, and you should absolutely have them. But big goals can also feel far away, which makes you feel like you're behind. Small wins are what create traction. So instead of only thinking, I want $1 million company, shift your attention to what you can win today. Get your first customer. Improve one part of your product. Make one outreach message. Publish one piece of content. Have one meaningful conversation with a potential partner. Small victories build confidence, and confidence fuels consistency. Habit number 2, protect your environment. Your environment shapes your mindset more than you think. If you're surrounded by negativity, distractions, and people who constantly doubt your goals, it becomes very hard to stay motivated. not because you're weak, but because you're human. So be intentional. Spend time around ambitious people. Fill your ears with educational content. Learn from mentors. Seek out conversations that challenge you to grow. Your environment should recharge you, not drain you. Habit number 3, stop comparing yourself. Comparison is one of the fastest ways to destroy motivation. You look at someone else's results, and suddenly your own progress feels pointless. But here's the truth. You're usually comparing your behind the scenes to their highlight moments. And even more importantly, you might be looking at someone's chapter 20 while you're living in chapter 2. That's not a fair comparison. Track your progress against your past self. Business isn't a short race. It's a long-term game that rewards patience and learning. Habit number 4, build routines, not moods. Successful people don't base their work on emotions. They base their work on systems. They plan when they'll do deep work. They create structure around exercise, sleep, and focus. They review their progress regularly. You don't need a perfect routine. You need something that reduces chaos. A simple morning planning session. A couple of focused work blocks. A weekly review. When your calendar becomes a system, you don't have to negotiate with yourself every day. You just execute. Habit number 5, celebrate progress. This is one that many entrepreneurs skip, and it's a mistake. If you're always chasing the next milestone without acknowledging the growth you've already made, your brain starts to treat progress as normal and achievement as never enough. You don't have to throw a party every time you send an email, but you should recognize your progress. If you learned a new skill, improved your offer, stayed consistent for a month, got better at sales, handled rejection with more confidence, that matters. Progress deserves recognition because recognition creates motivation to continue. Now let's talk about something that doesn't get said enough. Entrepreneurship can feel lonely. There will be times when people don't understand what you're building. Some might not get your vision at all. Some might even doubt you, and not always politely. When that happens, remember this. Almost every major business started as an uncertain idea. It started with someone trying something that wasn't guaranteed to work. The gap between the people who succeed and the people who don't is often simpler than we want it to be. One group stops. The other group keeps going. Success often doesn't arrive as one big dramatic moment. It shows up quietly, through repetition, patience, and resilience. Some days will feel exciting, sure, but a lot of days will feel routine. Some will feel frustrating. Some will feel like you're putting effort into a wall that doesn't move. And still, consistency compounds. The small actions you take, when repeated over time, create results that look sudden from the outside. But you and I will know the truth. It was built day by day. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. If you're listening right now and you feel discouraged or tired or like you're not making enough progress, don't assume it means you're failing. It might just mean you're in the middle part, the part where growth is happening, but it's not obvious yet. You're probably closer than you think. A lot of people quit right before momentum starts to swing in their favor. So keep learning, keep adapting, keep showing up. You don't need perfection. You need persistence. The struggle you're in right now isn't permanent. And every challenge is teaching you something you'll use later, whether that's a skill, a lesson, or a stronger mindset. And one day, the hard season you're pushing through today might become the story that helps someone else keep going tomorrow. That's it for today's episode of Business Demotivation. If this helped you reset your mindset, share it with a friend, a teammate, or another entrepreneur who could use a boost. And remember, success is rarely one giant breakthrough. It's the small decisions you make consistently over time. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.